Alright. Oh, Mermaid is running away. Run away. She's running away from home. Running. Come on, buddy. Let's have your supper. Come on, buddy. Come here. Come here. Old chunky monkey. Good boy. Good boy, old chunks. Good boy, old sneaky boy. It's almost time. Here, chunky monkey. Ready? Here's your Hello, everybody. How you doing? Ah, crap. Hold on. The thing is stuck. Let me move this crotch a little. There we go. Hey, Salem Jenkins. say Jenkins. I'm in the fridge for a while. Let's go in there for a bottle of tea. Hi everyone, I got my dinner. Oh, hold on, I gotta go get my garlic bread. Okay. All right. Hello. Hi, how are you? Oh, it's cold. Ow. I just got a shock off the window. Who don't retract messages. Thank you. Hello. Good. Welcome back, everybody. I know. I've been up since about, 6 a.m. Holy shit, it's bright. There we go. I've been up since 6 a.m. and I started doing housework and all kinds of stuff. So it's been a very productive and good day. I've enjoyed myself. I woke up and this is what I do when I wake up every day. So when I wake up, I'm thankful that I woke up. I thank the divine creator that I woke and say, and make the intention that today is going to be a good day no matter what. And then I get up and I do a couple of stretches, especially for my back and legs and arms and neck and stuff like that. And then I go out and I made my tea. Of course, I went for a pee. And what else did I do? Then I just started my housework after I fed the cats. I did the litter. I vacuumed the house. I mopped the floors. I cleaned the bathroom and I tidied the kitchen. And then I went out for a walk and I got some milk. And I came back and I worked on some videos. I've been studying more about the Claustrum Oil this afternoon. There's a link in the pinned comment. It's sacredsecretion.com, but it's Kelly Marie Kerr's website. And on that, right on the link that you click on, she's got an excellent video that's an hour and 47 minutes long. It's in my playlist, but it'll also show you what books she has. You can get them on Amazon. So if you're interested in that, I have that there. And I was watching that video. I have it up right now, actually. And it's absolutely mind-blowing, fantastic. It's so cool. And I recommend it highly. Even just watching her website video. So when I looked up, because I wanted to, have something to go over the sacred secretion, but see, I don't know it well enough to teach it, which I've said before. This is why I recommend her as a teacher. Now, today, I'm going to be talking about my experience with this without ever knowing about the Claustrum Oil. Because if you remember in my journey on my channel, I don't know what's going on with my fucking hand here. I initially said, after I saw the Asura, I started looking at extraterrestrial contact groups and stuff like this, and I found a group called STARSEED Awakening. The reason why I picked that one is because this lady, I'm pretty sure she's still going, by the way, Misha Johnson, she had a Facebook advertisement going, and she said, "Are you receiving downloads?" That day after I saw the Asura, in the morning when I woke up, I said I felt like I had this incoming download of something, you know, all these things. It was like awakening inside of me or something, you know what I mean? And so I clicked that, and I was part of Starseed Awakening, but I never really. So the lady in the group, she's like, "Well, what kind of starseed are you?" I'm like, "I have no idea," you know, because initially they tell you that it's connected to alien races. And I mean, it might be connected in the way of bloodline and lineage. Like, so I figured out that they're following genetic family lines to see when, like, there's a potential candidate to become a solar being, basically, for the Claustrum Oil to have the potential to rise in this person. Hey, Dommy, welcome. Hi, Muse, welcome. I'll say all your names now. Welcome, Facebook Television. Welcome, Scott. And welcome, everybody who's listening in the background. And thank you all for being here, okay? That's wonderful. I'm glad to see you all. I'll give you some love this way. And I put a little heart in the chat. So, okay. So, where was I? Oh, right, the Starseed Awakening group. But I had heard of it before then when I saw that word, of course, because the first time I ever heard Starseed was in Sailor Moon when I was like 9 years old. So in that Starseed Awakening group, Misha Johnson was trying to tell me that I'm a Pleiadian. And it just never resonated with me. Like, I was like, oh, well, I don't know about that. I just didn't feel like it resonated. Like, it didn't feel familiar. It didn't feel connected. But, you know, I just kind of, I didn't like assume that I was a Pleiadian or anything or accept it. I was just like, oh, okay, well, thank you very much. Because she used like a little pendulum thing and had like a little chart with like Pleiades or Lyra or whoever, you know what I mean? Draco or whatever. And that's when I first heard of it, you know, in there. So, because of course I started with this feeling of, you know, being a little bit different than others, you know. Oh, I made a homemade macaroni and cheese, and I used a spaghetti sauce in there as well. It's got a nice cheesy crispy top. And then I made this delicious garlic bread. That's my favorite little plate, by the way. It's a little blue plate. I love this plate. Anyway, cheers. Yeah, Texas toast. So good. Hi, Swan Song. Welcome. So I was just talking about when I first heard the word starseed. And then it relates, well, initially, in the beginning for me, it was in Sailor Moon, which was kind of like how I saw their life crystal. It had regenerative properties. Like, it could regenerate them. So even if they get killed, Sailor Moon can bring them back. And her life force is almost like using a phoenix down in Final Fantasy. Resurrects them from being, you know, knocked out. But she can literally bring them, materialize them back into reality. But what was that, back in 2015? But even before then. But it always had to do with, like, Starseed had to do with people who were related to aliens somehow, extraterrestrials or aliens. And I never resonated with that. You know? So I always knew that I came here from somewhere else, that I was reborn here, but I had been somewhere else in the beginning. That's how I could explain it. Because in Sailor Moon, I saw when she goes back, I explained this. So when she goes back to the moon, her mom from her past life tells her what happened and that she was reborn. They didn't use the word reincarnation because I watched the English version first when I was young. And I remember watching it at that time and going, oh yeah, that's what happened to me. A lot of this had to do with intuition. And I thought so before this was confirmed for me. But it has a lot to do with your thoughts and the way your heart sings out, the way that you follow these intuitive things, not only with your gut, but what generates feeling and emotion. Because it's all, what's the matter? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Hold on. What's the matter? What? What's the matter? What are you crying for? Hey, are you okay? What's the matter? Here, have your food. Come on. Have your food, boo-boo. It's okay. I thought you were lost or something, or stuck somewhere. No, he's just sitting there crying for no reason. Oh my gosh. Oh. I was trying to look for Marvin's toys today, and I can only find 2. I have no idea where all her little fluffy balls went. They gotta be under the fridge. What was that? Oh yeah, about the heart, mind, and soul connection. Yeah. I don't know. No matter how hard people tried to tell me that I was crazy or any of that, I still stuck to, the song of my own soul. I just knew these feelings. I could feel them. There was always something to them, no matter how hard I tried to, be like everybody else, be normal, and all that. But it's bizarre that I probably heard the first Starseed for the first time, probably like, I don't know, maybe in 2010, 2011. There was this message that was supposedly from Pleiadians. And it was a message to awaken starseeds. And I think they called the reptilians lizzies. Like as like a less scary word for lizard. But anyway, again, oh right. So it might be connected to these other bloodlines in way of lineage. And that's why they're following genetic lines. So if they're following families, they're following the bloodlines to see when and if possible this Christ Kundalini energy thing can happen for the individual. I'm sure that's why they're following genetic lines, or at least one of the big reasons why. There might be multiple, but I think that is definitely one of them. Because this whole thing, everything's about energy, frequency, and vibration. Think of it almost like a radio. You have to tune the radio to the right number on the dial, your frequency, and you got to plug that thing in, know how the process works. If you don't know what the Claustrum process is, or the Kundalini, whatever you want to call it, sacred secretion, it really is this almost like an orchestra of chemical alchemy going on inside of you. Where's my little paper? Oh, I remember. It's over here. Because look at this. It's not only going on outside of you, like even in like a, whoops, I didn't, oh, that isn't even me anyway. This is somebody else's junk mail. That ended up, somebody used to live here in my box, in my mailbox. Because it goes right down to a molecular level of nitrogen and oxygen. And your nitrogen represents fire, and the oxygen represents water, like red and blue. I forget which one. But anyway, in that video on Kelly's website there, she explains all of it. That's where I figured that out. Because there's the sun and the moon, fire and water, red and blue, nitrogen and oxygen, and they all make something new. Combined together, like red and blue makes purple. There's something called the holy fire. That's what I was talking about, this initiate of the flame thing. It's a purification process as well. So it's going on spiritually, it's going on mentally, it's going on physically. It is a full transformative change in the body. And you're also combining spirit and matter. So each of these things, like, you know how they say that the moon is feminine and also like spiritual, whereas the sun is masculine and physical. It's a giver of life. It gives out, you know, whereas the moon receives. Now, I'm not an expert at this, but I'm just trying to figure stuff out because it's the combining of two things. So like the nitrogen and oxygen, blue and red, inside at a molecular level in the body is occurring. You're also having your left and right brain, which would also represent the right, or the blue and the red combining, or black and white making gray, which would be Castle Grayskull, by the power of Grayskull. That's what that means. So when you're having the right type, and it has to be genuine, even if you have these negative, you know, looked upon thoughts and feelings, you work through them and you work back up the hill to bring it into a positive, to turn the positive into a negative into a positive, rather. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that it's a very individualized journey because each of our destinies and purposes is going to be different, and each body is different, you know? Different types of fasting are going to work for different types of people. Like, you may just need to eat, you know, certain types of fruit juices or vegetable juices, or maybe just have water, or different things like that. You see what I'm saying? I find that intuitive eating is what served me the best. So when I would be craving certain things, like I remember on certain live streams, I had really strong craving. And this isn't just like the munchy type of craving. This is something that intuitively you'll be like, you'll see it in your head and you'll be like, yeah, I really do want watermelon. It's your body communicating with you to tell you what you need. I forget what it was that I think it might be magnesium or something like that in the watermelon, but there's also something in bacon as well. This happened twice in my live stream. So it's good to follow these things, you know, especially if it's something that's reasonably healthy. I think that a lot of people place limitations on themselves, like, oh, I can't eat meat and do that and that. No. You have to do what feels right for you. Now, everything, I believe, in moderation and balance is what's best. You know? Mm-hmm. Of course, it's totally up to you, and you do what feels right for you. If you disagree with something that I say, that's okay, because it's different for you. It's not going to be the same. And I think that's why people have trouble with it. It doesn't matter if you do yoga for 30 years, if you don't have other things in alignment with that. And if it's your particular destiny in this cycle, then it will be your time. But like, not everybody is going to graduate out of soul school at the same time. You can go up different degrees, it says in initiation, different levels of consciousness. So it is possible that you could go from a lower level, to not, I wouldn't say to the highest, but at least, 4, level 5. I don't know. But it depends on you, what you believe you can do, what you believe you can be. A lot of people don't understand there's so many meanings with the anime that I'm using. So much symbolism to see, the Starseed thing and using the power of the aether and the energy. That's why Goku turns blonde. Well, that's the thing. Again, it goes with the power of your mind. If you're thinking something is bad and unhealthy for you, it's going to be. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's true. A lot of people just don't understand it. And this is what limits you. You're limiting yourself that way. I'm not saying like you can't eat like 10 big bags of potato chips and be like, oh, this is super healthy for me, and just kind of believe it that way. No. But like, do you think that I'm thinking about all the processed things and blah, blah, blah in my food right now? No, I'm thinking of it as nourishment, as power for my sea of chi. And it will be so. I don't get sick. I'm very healthy. And I've always been eating like this. I just did a fucking chocolate bar half an hour ago. So, and I've gotten very far. This is about regenerating. This is why you stay young. It's because your cells and everything are regenerating with this process going on in your body. It happens every 29 and a half days. Your body produces a seed. Yeah. But it has nothing to do with sex. It's an energetic seed. Almost like a little crystal of light. It goes up to your crown chakra. It's extremely cool. Just the whole thing. And I remember it was in 2019 was when I woke up. I think it was winter time. I wrote it in my book a little bit. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I had the weirdest tingling, but like pulsing sensation throughout my entire spine. I'm like, what the heck? And it felt like there was pressure in the bottom of my spine, like something was pushing against it, but there was nothing actually there. And I felt this need to stretch out my whole body. Of course, I was laying on my back. To stretch out my whole body, And I even did my toes, like just stretch right out. And I didn't really know what was going on. I wasn't sure if I was going to be like beamed up onto a spaceship or what the fuck was happening. But I got a very strong whoosh of sexual energy. And I didn't know exactly what to do with it. So, of course, I wasted it. But I realized that there was something going on then. Like that my body, there was something going on with the spine and, energy running up the body. It was almost like something at that time in 2019 activated. And what's strange is I realized that the solar flare that was recent, that I got a really incredible boost over almost overnight, again, was the strongest since 2019. No, it's not like that. It's not about that kind of stretch. This was something like I almost thought that I was going to go into another dimension. This was not a normal early morning stretch. So If you're comparing that to something normal that everybody does, no. Again, I was just saying earlier this week that when the sun popped off like that, I could feel my body energizing. You know, almost like taking that in. Even just etherically, you know, non-materially, like you can't see it, but it is there. What was that about? Oh, because I was talking about with the elements before, there's not only physical fire, there's spiritual fire. Not only physical water, spiritual water. There's all etheric essence of each element. I don't know. I always thought that the sun had something to do with the aether's production in the environment and whether it waxes and wanes and energizes and lessens. But because of the possible system, you know, interferences, they took down all the natural energy grid stuff, and probably that's why all the fucking Wi-Fi and everything messed us up. But it's debatable. It's pretty risky talking about this because nonstop people will just fight you, and if you listen to them, because their journey is not for you, they'll say, "Oh no, it's not like that. It's not like that," but it may be for you. But this isn't something that's going to occur every single morning. Click, don't talk. Can you, pardon? What do you mean don't talk shit? Don't talk shit to who? Would you like to start some shit? Because I'm always ready to give it right back to you. What do you want? What am I talking shit about? What's your problem? Vaconini? Whatever the fuck that is. Don't come in here and give me an attitude, because I'm definitely not Jesus, nothing like him, and I will definitely serve your energy back to you. What do you want? How am I talking shit? Come in here in my house and tell me how to be. Come on, hurry up. I haven't got all night. Anyway, loser. So, what else? The night that I had that happen. Oh, the solar incoming energies. And then you have, so that would be your fire. Then in your water time would be your 2.5 days. It's basically what it is, the 3 days of darkness. But technically it only stays 2.5. I'm not really sure how that works, but that's where the 3 days of darkness comes, because the seed goes down first into the sacrum bone, right at the base of the skull, and then shoots back up. You know? It's such a cool process. I mean, I wish I could understand it more, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So I could feel certain things happening. I don't exactly understand the esoteric astrology, but intuitively I could feel certain things. I remember especially when I used the superhero thing with Sailor Venus in the beginning. Actually, Venus was doing some type of transit at that time, but I didn't know. So I might be intuitively feeling it outside as well as the inside. If you didn't know this, each planet has a designated organ in the body, okay? It's so interesting. So as it's happening outside, it's going on within you. Like I said, it's happening at a microcosmic level, which is the very small, which we are a microcosm of the macro universe outside. But I've never really understood astrology and all those charts and the wingy dingies and blah, blah, blah. I don't fucking get any of that. I never really cared to, and I guess it didn't really matter because I've gotten this far anyway. And I'm good with that. Like, I don't know. I guess people place so many expectations on what that's supposed to look like. Like, I thought today I could put on makeup and I could put on nice clothes, but I didn't really feel like it. I showered, I put on lotion on my face and my body, nice smelling good, clean. I don't want to put that gunk on my face. And if people only want to accept me as that, you don't even know where Sweden is? Yes, I actually do. Why are you coming in here and just saying stupid shit? You don't know what happens to people like you in here, do you? Others do. You're about to find out. I don't have time for that. Yeah, I'm not even going to justify this. See, this is what I mean. Like, there's absolutely no reason to come in here and say that I don't know where whatever is. That has nothing to do with my channel. And quite frankly, I know that Sweden was one of the first countries to go to shit with all the illegal immigration. So you can enjoy and get the fuck out because you've just been blocked. You know? There's no need of that. You're just coming in here and ruining the energy because maybe you're upset that I'm a beautiful, intelligent woman, right? Is that what bothers you? That I'm talking about something that you can't comprehend. So because you can't comprehend that, you have to say that I don't understand or know where Sweden is. Who the fuck cares where Sweden is? How about that? Who the fuck cares? Who cares? Clearly, if you're representing your country, right, then you've just given a terrible impression. So goodbye. I won't hold it against the rest of them, but you should think about that next time. If you're going to represent a country, you should behave better. Yeah. But no, I know why you're so angry. Like I said, your country's gone to shit because the cabal has ruined it. The only way you're ever going to do anything about it is if you raise your Claustrum Oil, and then you'll have super consciousness and you won't be such an idiot. Cheers. Man, I am a good cook. Too bad I don't have a grateful husband to sit here and eat food with me, but they all act fucking stupid like you. I could keep going, but I'm not going to. You piss me off. Missy, you're a man hater. No, I'm not a man hater, but I definitely don't like men like that. What the fuck's your problem? It doesn't matter. He's still listening. So yeah. Anyway, if you really want to get the fuck out of here, because I do, so I don't have to deal with that shit anymore. And you know what? I always said I'm not like Jesus. I'm not perfect, right? I'm not a saint, nor am I an idiot. But sometimes we can all not know things. Like I made a video. It's so funny. When I first reacted to what I saw the other night, it ended up being a fucking rocket, by the way. The biggest rocket I've ever seen in my whole life. I couldn't even fathom that they got that big. Ever. Like I did not fucking know. And it flew directly over us and it lit up everywhere as it flew over. We don't get that around here very often. Where I live, that was why it was on the Weather Network and why they were saying and they were letting us know that it's going to be happening more. Holy Moses. That was unbelievable. But anyway, I made a video about it, and it's pretty funny because I was still reeling over the fact that I could not believe that that was a fucking rocket. It was like a giant S flying through the sky, stationary, just going, holy shit. I didn't think aliens, but I definitely didn't know what it was. Holy cow. It was gigantic. Like, you don't expect it. You know, if you only see it on TV or on the computer screen or phone or whatever, it's not the same at all. It's massive. I couldn't believe it was that big. So I forgot to check where they shot that one off, the French, wherever it was, to see like how large that one was, because the perspective of it, whenever I saw one, it would be like this little dinky thing, you know, on the screen. Holy jeez. It was huge. I know, and that's what I did. I did like in my video about it. It's only like 12 or 13 minutes long where I just showed people. I did a comparison video. I found one. And holy Lord, it goes all the way up. I think it's like 390 feet. It's bigger than the Empire State Building. No, what? No, the Statue of Liberty. It's like bigger. There's like two of those, and then there's a friggin' rocket. I had no idea they got that big, ever. I did not know. I had no idea. And it's because I didn't really care. Like, I don't really care. Like, how many fucking rockets have they sent to space for all these? Like, okay, another rocket. All right, good. Yay, yippee. Like, I just never cared because it never really has any results. It's not like they find anything or they bring anything back or they discover anything. Like, okay, great. So I just never really cared. There's no shame in that. You don't have to like and care about everything. And you don't have to know about everything. Just because it's a super consciousness. Like, even, I explained this in my video, but I knew about how they go up like this and their flight path changes like this. And they go, and then they descend up this way. Okay, after doing like a curve, okay? Holy cripes, man. And the blue of it, like it looked like a giant S, and then it had like mist coming off of the side of it, right? But all I could see was this big like S thing. And it's a bright light. All these little lights on the bottom of it. Like, it almost looked like a submarine frig. And then it had white lights and then one bigger, like, not huge, but bigger than the other ones. And that one's flashing. And then it had more, and then another little flashing one. Holy cripes, man. I never expected it to be like that in person with your own eyeballs. It really put the size of things and, like, distance into perspective. And holy shit, like, I didn't make any mistakes about what I saw in 2017. But holy crap, I had no, like, usually rockets have like a little swirly thing. This was not swirling. It was friggin' stationary. I had 3 minutes to film it. Like, holy cow. That was amazing. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. That was really cool. And I was so amazed with it. It was so close, I felt like I had to duck. Like, be like, oh my God. Holy Lord. It was so cool, though. Me and those two ladies were like, wow, what's that? It was awesome. Gotta see that. If one's flying over your area, go check that out. Just try to see it. Wait outside. It's so cool. Especially if it's close like it was here. I have no idea why it was that close. And I honestly am worried because those suckers blow up all the time. And if it crashes right on my fucking building, I'll be so mad. Well, I'll be so dead. But then I'll be mad in the afterlife. Ooh, dang it. Spirit. I wasn't finished. But yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. So I made a video about a year ago about starseeds, okay? Facebook television. And I describe this a lot more because I didn't even know what the Claustrum Oil was then. I called it your God spark. But that's what it is. I don't know. Ever since I was young, I knew that the world was ruled by evil. And I don't know how or why, but I mean, I wanted to too. It's not like I just knew it was my some kind of duty. I wanted to make it better. I wanted to make the world better. I didn't want people to be suffering and struggling, and it shouldn't be like this. And I even as a little girl, I knew that those politicians were crooked and creeps, and I don't know. I think it's like something that might be an opportunity that's on offer but you have to accept it. Like, that's why I said, it's not really that anybody's truly chosen, but once you choose this, it chooses you back. It's a truly personal, I want to say mystical process, like as in supernatural, unseen, because a lot of it isn't seen and it's felt. Like, you can't see this. Sorry, I'm just looking over here so that I can focus. You can't see the process going on inside of you, just like you can't see the aether outside of you. But that doesn't mean that it's not there. When they say God is in all things and a part of all things because it created all things, that's what it means. The divine creator is in all things, inside and out. I forget where I saw which video it was, but like they're saying that dark matter, there was something in the dark matter, but it's not scary. It's just like the unseen shit we cannot perceive with the spectrum of our eyes or whatever, or etheric sight at this time. You know, I don't know. Oh yeah, so that's what the etherization of the blood is. It's a literal process, a chemical process, all kinds of stuff. Like, your body's like this super factory, man. I don't know. Like I told you, I don't know it enough to teach it. But that's why I have so many of Kelly's videos in my Claustrum Oil playlist, because I'm learning from her and trying to self-reflect, but also kind of learn like the formula of it. Not only the formula, but also the feeling, so that you can match them together and then kind of align things. Because there's a lot of stuff about alignment of different things. It's like, not only because it's a union of, because you don't destroy your dark side or your shadow side. You unionize with it. You combine, just like you do with the left and the right. So it's almost like you yourself, as you are, energetically, like you're not, it's almost like you would turn into two chemicals. You're not combining two personalities or two beings. It's almost like primordial fire and water at their spiritual essence merging together. But then, if that was your red and the blue, you become the purple. This would be your higher conscious, your higher self, the angel part of you, right? It's still you, but these things are all combining. Or I guess you could kind of say your angel and your devil, which would be the left and right, or your heart and your mind. You know how Jesus said the heart's wicked or whatever? I think it has something to do with that. I don't know. But Kelly's an amazing teacher. I'm just here to talk to you about how I've recognized it within myself. I can't teach it to you because I don't know it well enough. I can only say what I've learned so far due to self-observation, right? If I knew it better, then I'd be further along. But I'm exactly where I need to be right now. People may not understand that, but things kind of fall out of place and fall away from you when they're meant to. Like, you just will stop doing things, or you'll stop eating certain things, or, like, so I decided to not just talk about things and more be about it. So that's why, I've been focusing on, keeping my exercise routine and making sure that I feed my sea of chi and take care of my vessel, but there's no set formula. I mean, people could suggest to you, like, I just posted here. I'll go get the video for you. How to raise your Kundalini. Okay, this is just my own experience with it. Like, I can only go so far with it because I haven't gotten any further. So how the fuck can I talk about that, right? I don't know. I can only say the things that have happened with it. Like, I don't know. I guess you could compare it to an expansion. Like, you're almost growing in more ways than one. Mentally, emotionally. You have physical changes going on. Here. I put this in my Telegram But this one, how do I raise it? The secret secretion. Like, there's 33 vertebrae in the spine, just like the 33 years that Christ was. Okay. So here is, what the hell was it just called? Sorry. Oh, how do I raise it? Whoop. Oops. There. Okay, there. And in that, there's a helpful meditation. And I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I didn't click GIFs. Anyway. Yeah, a CSF meditation, but she's also got, I think, a fasting diet. I just watched this afternoon. I'm pretty sure it's that one, where there's a fasting diet where I think it's Daniel's overnight oats. She does the entire lessons about how it explains how the Bible is symbolism and allegory. It's so amazing, you know? And so I have to keep going over it and over it and over it. It has a lot to do with fire and water, the sun and the moon. And that's why Christmas is, that's why it's a lunar and solar holiday, because it has to do with the combining of the sun and the moon. It's so cool. That's why I knew that I needed to mentally prepare myself to take a break, but I am going to take the month of December off for absolute sure. Like, where I'm not online, where I just stay off the internet. I know that's going to be difficult. Mentally working my way up that so I can really focus on other things. It's not like I spent time where I have until the evening, even just to watch it, to have no background or whatever. So it's doable. Oh, thank you. Welcome. Ad Walker 89. Oh, here's Merv. Yeah, because, you know, like I probably would have gone further, faster, if I had done more. But honestly, there was a lot that I had to work out and emotionally in my life, you know? I had a lot of pain and I had a lot of clear. I had to deal with the Asura and all of that shenanigans and, you know, trying to be bandwidth. Oh, yeah, I don't know. My computer is just hanging on by threads, so everything's plugged in. I need to get new cables and stuff, so we're doing our best here. And I could have set up my computer differently. I mean, I've got a couch right there, but I sit on the floor because I like sitting on the floor. I do. It's comfortable for my back, and my ass doesn't get sore or anything, you know? I've got, you know, some blubber there to keep me cushioned. So it's all right. Yeah. Well, I think that people do try to help, though. Like, even though they might be speaking on things they haven't experienced themselves. And you can kind of tell because people have a certain unique way to explain things in their own kind of detail, you know? Like, I was right. Like, I seen a giant S in the sky that had mist coming off the sides of it. But you know, it's an honest mistake, but it was so fucking cool. Like, I was so astonished. I wasn't embarrassed or anything because I didn't jump right to aliens, but like every other rocket launch I've ever seen, it has like this swirl or some type of tail. This is just like a fucking S. And I think it's because of the angle and the way that I was seeing it. Incredible. It freaked me out a little bit. because I didn't know what it was. I mean, I thought it could have been a comet at first because of the brightness of it and everything. It was so close, and that is almost blows my mind, like how close that was. Like, I understand that when they go like this, they fly like this for a little bit and then they ascend, right? I should have looked. I keep thinking about it. I got to figure it out now, like to see where they shot that off and how big it was, because that was cool. You got to see that. I'm sorry I keep repeating myself. I was thinking about it all yesterday too, because I did not expect that at all. They even said that it's going to be happening more often, but that's something that's rare for here. Like, I don't know, maybe they just decided to take a different trajectory. I don't know. It was cool though. It was a really pretty color, like a really pale blue. It was very pretty, almost like whitish blue. It was so pretty. But yeah, like an S in the sky, man. It was so cool. I never saw that before, ever in my whole life. Not with my own eyeballs outside. Like, it was so cool. Anyway, I finished my dinner. It was very good. I had a bagel with cream cheese and a banana and some tea for breakfast. And then I got home and I had a big bowl. I love Cheerios, so I had some Cheerios. And then I put some more banana on there, and I got some strawberries because I like to add strawberries. And I like Raisin Bran cereal too. I really like Raisin Bran. But anything that makes you feel good, like that's healthy and you feel like energized and good and your body feels clean. Because, I mean, you should do your best to do clean eating. But like I said, balance it out. Make sure you get fruit. Make sure you get vegetables. It's up to you if you want to eat meat. A lot of people like to fight me on this. But I don't know. Balance has always worked for me. Like I said, you don't destroy your shadow side. I tried to show that in that Xenosaga video. Cosmos merged with Telos, and they became something new. It's pretty freaking cool. And that's basically what it is. You know, it almost like, because you're going through a process, and even if this is like an egregore that manifested somehow outside of me, because fuck, I don't know. But even still, the egregore, the consciousness, the conscious thought of it transforms along with time too, so it's also changing. But it is important to keep a balance in between both things. You know, always keeping it both in check, like not to overstep the other. In unison, like. It's important, you know? It's just like using your heart and your mind when making choices and decisions. Thanks, Tommy. It's good to see you again. 7-day fast. Well, that's quite long. You know, you got to work your way up to that. So I wouldn't suggest for someone who's just beginning to go 7 days. You know, try the first day and then eat stuff at night. Have a dinner at night or whatever. Because they do that. The Muslims will do this every Ramadan. And it's very spiritually cleansing for them as well. That's why they do it. You know, if you didn't know this, they also energetically cleanse themselves by praying. You know, that's what they're doing 5 times a day. It's an energetic cleansing. There's even one that you do after your menstrual cycle. It's pretty interesting. And you start with the left and then go to the right. Huh. So it's pretty interesting. I thought, when I was studying, because I've studied theology, like many religions, okay? And the only places I haven't been to are the synagogue and like a Hindu temple. Yeah. Oh, no, I haven't been to the Jehovah's Witness. There's a couple. So there's a few that I don't know. But the main ones, yes. 3, 5. Well, that's good. Yeah, so you got to work your way up, though, to longer fast. Yeah. You work your way up to it. And, you can drink certain teas. There's chaga tea. Oh my goodness. I did that one time and I did not enjoy my time on the toilet. So, that'll happen for you naturally anyway with a fast. But if you'd really like a good cleanse, you can always add something else. But I'm warning you, you're going to be on the toilet a lot. But hey, if it's going to come out, that's the way, right? And yeah, that is true. Well, I guess so. Yeah, I guess it gives you a more clearer perception because your body isn't more focusing its energy on digestion, and it can go to other places. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I understand what you mean by that. Like the constant chatter or the thought of, well, what am I going to make for lunch? What am I going to have for dinner? There's different little things, and you will tend to just naturally focus on other types of thought processes, I suppose. Yeah. But it's a lot of it has to do with self-reflection, and you can't compare yourself to other people. You know? Like I remember when I first posted my video, it was out for 2 minutes. There's no way this lady watched the whole thing and then commented, "Oh, all you have to do is yoga. Just do yoga." No, you don't just do yoga. If that was the case, then all those yogis all around the world, they would have been flying around on the Goku cloud, the Monkey King's cloud. Do you know that the Monkey King and Goku are related? That's for a reason, because they carry the same type of probably bloodline lineage. Like, I'm pretty sure he is related down the line. But that again, like the Monkey King reached that Christ like that's why his eyes go on fire. The Monkey King's a really good example of this because he was even a subhuman creature. Like he wasn't exactly human, but he's not an animal anymore. He's half and half. So his consciousness had evolved quite a bit, but he rose up through the spiritual ranks, and that's why they called him sage equal to heaven. It's pretty interesting. Oh, well, like I said, with religion before, they were initially all created for division and control. Now, they did put some truths and stuff in there, but like the whole entire Bible is symbolic and allegorical, basically, for the Claustrum Oil. Like, even Moses' blanket. You have to watch this video. Look, I'll put the friggin' website there again because I still have it open. This is the video that I'm watching right now. I rewatch this sometimes. It's an hour and 47 minutes, and it's amazing. Oh, I almost sent it on Telegram. Hold on. Here we go. What do we call this? There. Oh, I forgot to put the fucking link. There. That's what I was watching today, where I was learning all of this stuff. So, like, I don't know. Now that I am more aware of it and things are going more into alignment, like I said, ever since like around the 13th, which was always a significant day in October for me anyway, October 13th of, just this fun past here. because that's when I had my initial Kundalini flame awakening, when I had this twin flame process, right? And again, like it used to say that you'll meet a type of catalyst, almost like something to light the flame. And usually it's something that's quite painful. It might be both pleasurable and painful, but because it's connected to both the mind, heart, and the body, it does have quite a profound effect. But it is meant to purify you and burn away everything that is no longer necessary. And that is exactly what it did. Like giving up, sexual activity, becoming celibate. It was been about 7 years ago. I don't even miss that with another person, you see? It's not because it's like I feel resentful or rejected about it. Like you want to reject. That's not like that. I'm not rejecting it. What it is I've realized that if it isn't making love, if it isn't true union between two people that have a mind, body, and soul connection, this kind of energy exchange, because there is kind of a unpurified, unclean energy exchange between partners. There's just a bunch of reasons. It just doesn't feel right. You see what I'm saying? And so eventually you just don't even miss that. And you look forward to the day that, you can truly be in union with another and have it be fulfilling. Yeah. Right. Hey, 2 years is better than no years. I just figured, like, if it's not really as incredible as it could be, it's not just like I was having bad sex. It's not about that, but there should have been more of a connection to it. And I know what this is because I did do it once. So, but that was during the Kundalini awakening. So, anyway. But yeah, it shouldn't just be, and that's what I mean. There's so much, lustful temptation today because it has to do with your creational sacral chakra energies, which has to do with, well, your horniness, So a lot of people that have high life force energy, a lot of the time, will be having a lot of sex or, having sexy time with themselves. But it's best not to excessively do that for multiple reasons. Like, there's basically parasitical unseen entities that will drain this type of sexual energy out of the etheric air. You can't see it. Of course, it's released when you climax. Well, you got to forgive yourself, though, Ad Walker. That's the most important thing, right? You can't change the past. What's done is done. Me too, right? Like, do I regret, staying with my ex-boyfriend for as long as I did? Like, oh God, we had such a bad connection that I would have to, like, do 10 bowls in a row smoking weed, right? And I drink a whole bottle of wine. Then I'd be like, okay, let's make love like once a year on his freaking birthday. Like, oh my God, please no, never again. So again, like, that's why I said it was so important to piece of dirt. Fuck. Oh, that was a piece of cat food. The cats must have shaken it off of their lip there, and it was like stuck to my wall. As if, sorry, I didn't notice. Sometimes it happens over there by their food bowl too. I have to wipe the wall. So I've got pie, but I really, really love these. It's a score chocolate bar. No, and I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, your body regenerates all your cells every 7 years anyway. So, technically, I have been celibate for over 7 years. Well, it's about 7 years, maybe, I don't really know. I don't know when it's 8. But you'll regenerate and be cleansed. You know, you can work through all that type of thing. That's why they make everything all about sex today, and even in movies and TV shows, it's just like, there's no mystery to anything anymore. They want to deplete your sacral energy so that this process doesn't occur for you. You know, and if you're always wasting the energies, it's not like they just go on forever. You know, it's almost like a well of water. Eventually, the well's going to go dry. And it's not just about your testicles. That's not what I'm talking about. An energetic well, especially if you're not giving it time to replenish. Well, it's more so that we have a lot of people that understand how this process works. They've graduated out of this type of soul school, learned these things, and now they're still around. You know, whether they're disembodied or not, whether they're still embodied as a solar being or whatever, or one of the elemental races, you know, because all the different beings can go through this process. It's not just us. In different cycles with different ages. This happened with other civilizations. Same processes. And I'm sure they watched their bloodlines as well throughout the ages. I don't know if it's actually as sinister. I mean, if you don't understand that it's called the beast system, because you have to rise above your beast impulses. You are the beast. I mean, me too. That's what I mean. Like, these lustful feelings, you know? Like, people, oh my God, I started watching the new Witcher. Henry Cavill's gone. He played a really great Witcher, and he looked really great. I don't want to sleep with him, but he was very nice to look at in those black leather pants. Yes, he was. That white hair and those black leather pants, that was a shame. That and a crime, and someone should be jailed that they destroyed that role, because he was excellent as a Witcher. The attitude was right. The energy was right. The cursing, the everything. It was just so perfect. And now, I mean, I'm still watching it, but I could only go through the first half of the first episode. And then, you know, I needed a break to deal with it. That it just wasn't the same actor. And I mean, he's okay. But even the first episode of The Witcher, He uses the air shield that I talked about. They're showing you these things on for a reason. Because even when you die, you're going to remember this shit. And you might have these type of powers then with your mental ability. This is what instant manifestation is, but it's the manifestation of the etheric elements. You can still do this. Like friggin' Avatar The Last Airbender. I know people think this is hilarious, but it's okay because it'll never be for you if you don't believe it. And that's fine. Because we probably don't need you like that anyway. But that's what I mean. When you go from non-material to material, the aether is a plasma. It is alive. And it can also go from non-material to material. Yeah. No. Your body is a gift from the divine creator. It's only a prison here because you need to be here. A lot of people have problem with that. Usually not. It's a lot. I'm not just saying it's just you, but you have to understand it's your beast nature that you need to overcome. No one put you here. You put you here. This isn't a prison. No one created a body. That's that prison planet bullshit with David Icke. When has David Icke ever taught about the Claustrum Oil? Never. That was all symbolism and allegory with David Icke anyway. The whole reptilian thing. That goes to the element of fire. Have you seen Avatar The Last Airbender? And then the Fire Nation attacked. They tell you everywhere. The beings of fire can be difficult and dominant. Right? But they are the salamanders. And that's where the whole lizard thing comes from. But they are of the element of fire. This is why you have UFOs going inside of volcanoes. That is not a spaceship. It is an interdimensional flight craft. They lower themselves into the volcano, switch dimensions, and they're in their world now. I know it doesn't make sense. It's a space between spaces. If you look into it, it's going to look like a volcano. But if you went with them, you'd be in a totally different world. Probably like some type of fire land. But dimensionally, it's different. This is what they try to show you with like Spirited Away. They just walk through the friggin' bridge and they're in another place now. Ah, crap, I lost that piece of chocolate. So, and pleasure isn't bad. Excessive pleasure or the pleasure at the expense of somebody else is bad. But enjoying your own body is not bad. Excessively, yes, but anything in excess is bad. Well, no. It's not just about learning. It's about growing. It's a test to see what you can become. To see what's possible for you to achieve here. Sorry about my chocolate bar mouth. It's got really hard toffee on it. It's about practice. Like a lot of people are too scared to make a channel like I have. You have to be brave. Like not about just this kind of stuff, but all these little things, I guess, I learned to say no more. I took a stand. I'm not saying I do things perfectly, but I've also learned like to not let people walk over you. Don't give people the opportunity to harm you. And I know being on the internet, it's a little difficult, but you can choose, right? Like even though people come in my live stream almost every single time and piss me off a little bit like that. But you just move on. You deal with it and move on. If I had an energetic like sandal, because that's what they need. But we've all, I think, done things like that at one point in time. And you just have to learn not to. So I suppose it's about learning, but it's also about growing and achieving your highest, greatest potential, whatever that means for you in this lifetime, I guess. Hey, Marv, to brush your tail again. What's that? Oh, you got a fur mark by your butt. You got a little fur mat by your ass, so I can cut it off. It's not poop, it's just like a little matted little piece of fur sticking out. That's funny. But anyway, because that's what soul school is. There's different levels of this. And then when you're done this part of soul school, there's jobs for you out there. So like there's counselors, there's doctors, there's a type of police officer, spiritually, of course. But these things exist. And I think that it gives people more of a reason to understand their purpose here. I don't know, maybe it's like this. Because it definitely does. It does feel like testing and learning lessons, just like school. It reflects like a spiritual school to physical school, like how we went until grade 12 or whatever. And then you continue or not. I know my life has been really, really, really painful too, but I also think it's again a test to see if you'll go evil, to see what will fucking break you. And I know, but sometimes those things, like I talked about this before, I definitely mentioned this in my book, but I said about how the divine creator will give you what you ask for. But it may not be how you expect, but you have to be in agreement. Like you will struggle a little bit at time, but it's almost like, again, with fire and water, I saw it like the creation of a sword. You have to put the steel into the fire, and then you take it out. Bang, 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 bang. Well, that's your painful parts of life. Sometimes pain can be your greatest power, and you have to learn to turn it into that, to know that. And it's not just about your learning. Like my adoptive parents tormented me and tortured me for 17 years. They were supposed to learn from their fucking mistakes too. Yeah? Whether they get, tormented by thinking about what they did to me and, or maybe not. And then they pay for it in the afterlife or whatever. We just don't know. But it was all a learning purpose for everybody. But that's what those times are. It's to see, like, maybe God was testing me to see if I'd punch my motherfucking mom right back in her mouth. But I never did. I never hurt them back, except that one time that I got into it with my stepdad, and I write about that. And I think that's, again, how much will you take before you defend yourself, or this and that, like what your limits are. Honestly, what will you do in this situation? Like, I talked about this before. God tested me, or the divine creator, rather, however you want to identify. It really doesn't matter. Again, frequency, energy, vibration, you'll find the right person. But I was going across a bridge, and there was a woman who had crawled over the barrier because she was afraid she was running away from the police. She didn't exactly intend on attempting unaliving herself. And I seen her standing there, and I made eye contact with her, and I knew that I should get out of the freaking car. And the taxi driver was like, I'll hold the meter for you. And I couldn't fucking do it because I was too afraid to get shot. But that was a test from the divine to see if I was ready to be anything like the hero that I said I wanted to be, even without superpowers. You see what I'm saying? So I do know that I failed that test. I've helped save other people's lives before, but I wasn't able to help this woman. She died. Okay? The cops were there anyway. All right. And she had one hand on her gun and the other hand on the door. It wasn't very friendly looking. And I know, don't think that I talk about it without feeling the slightest bit of shame. But again, you have to forgive yourself for your faults and your failures. Sometimes heroes fail, and you have to accept that. You can do everything right and still fail. That's just the way it goes. Yeah. I think I've seen a quote with Captain Luke, Jean-Luc Picard, where I got that one from. But it's true. You can do everything right and still fail. That's just the way it is. That's just life. You know, like I could be working on this my whole life and then keel over tomorrow. It just wasn't meant to be for me to go any further with it. You see what I'm saying? And now I'm in the spirit realm. I got as far as I could go. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I decided that instead of just thinking about it and talking about it, I really wanted to do my best to be about it. The first thing I had to do was decide to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth all the time. You know, no more avoidance of things, no more even white lies. Like, was that you who farted? Yeah, it was me. I'm sorry. You just own it. You know what I mean? If you did it, own up to it. You know what I mean? Or don't do it at all. It's the same thing with thoughts. Controlling your lustful thoughts or whatever it is, or the fact, you know, sometimes that you just want to punch someone right in the face when they piss you off or whatever it is. You can control that. I even tell myself, you know, one day it's going to be where I don't even feel like that anymore, where you won't be even thinking, oh, what an idiot. You'll think, you know, that person was in a different kind of energy. A lot of people, what happens is their cup gets too full and it has to spill out onto someone because they cannot contain all of this darker energy to themselves. So usually it's almost like throwing mud balls at other people, you know, because you cannot contain your own shit yourself. Usually that's why. But yeah, I know. I've been treated really, really bad in this life too, and I've had a really rough go. But it's true. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? It really is. So I think it's true when they say if you've had a hard life, be grateful and feel blessed because you will grow and learn and expand from that. Whereas a lot of people, they may not have the opportunity. At least this is what I tell myself, and it helps me get through things. It's helped me to heal, and it's helped me to accept what is. Like I said, that serenity prayer, and it's funny because like I'm always talking about Sailor Moon and Queen Serenity, and then there's that serenity prayer about, you know, praying for the courage to accept the things you cannot change, the bravery, you know, to change the things that you can, you know, like I don't like the out of shape type of deal that my body's going through. So I've been working with it to fix that. You can fix the things that you can fix, like to have the courage to change these things you can change, and the wisdom to know the difference of the things that you can change and the things that you cannot. Like, really, technically, the only way you could stop the cabal like that was to get superpowers. So I thought, you know what? I might as well give it my best shot to try. All you can do is try. You know, I may not succeed, but I believe in myself that I will. That's the key. But if I don't, I'd be like, oh, well, I guess it wasn't fucking meant to be. Good night. It's time to die. You know, like, because then you die of old age, and I guess your time's up then, right? It will be. But you can empty your resource pool. That's why you start getting old and gray and ugly. I think your regeneration, your starseed dies out. Like, and if you think about it, what is a star? The sun. Like the son of God. Get it? The sun. It's a starseed. That's what your starseed is. Anyway, like I said, it's best, the best thing that you can do is to learn this for yourself and watch it over and over. especially this one that I gave you, the last one there about the complete guide from sacredsecretion.com. It's got a video right on it. And then if you want to see her books, let me see, is it right there? You just have to scroll down further. Yeah. And she's got Sacred Secretion. This is the one I'm going to buy. Sacred Secretion, your complete guide to Kundalini energy, Christ oil, alchemy, and the monthly seed. That's the one that I'm going to buy. But she's got one called The God Design, Secrets of the Mind, Body, and Soul. That'll be a good one too. Then there's Elevation. It's the metaphysical and alchemical study of the Bible book of Revelation. It reveals the inner process of enlightenment available to all, the true revelation of Christ. 777, 7 stars, 7 candlesticks, and 7 seals, and offers the complete metaphorical breakdown of each chapter. And I bet you they're all really good. This one's called the other one's called The Cell of Life. Focuses on the birth and journey of the Jesus seed, also known as the Cell of Life. That's your star seed. And the Christ lunar germ, born in the solar plexus every 29.5 days with the moon's cycle, that's in your astrological sign, revealing our true spiritual potential and decoding one of the most well-known parables of all time. She's got a 2025 regeneration calendar and a 2026 one. Oh, there's a Christmas magic book that she does. I think it's a kid's book. And then there's Christmas Alchemy, which is also a YouTube playlist. So you know what? Like, well, I wouldn't mind having all of those. But I'm definitely going to start with the first one. The Sacred Secretion, your complete guide to Kundalini energy, Christ oil, alchemy, and the monthly seed. So I'm definitely going to start there. But that's why I wanted to use this one too, because it has this amazing video. It shows all of her books. And it's her website, I believe. There she is at the top there. So yeah, it's really cool. And it's the most comprehensive format of teaching that I've been able to come across, you know, because sometimes even Santos Bonanchi flies over my head because I don't understand a lot of, I just don't. Even looking at the chart, it reminds me of some mathematical shit, and I don't know, my brain just is like, rejected. It doesn't get it. So, but that's okay. I don't think that I'm any more smart or stupid because of that. I love myself for the way I am. It doesn't matter if I don't, like, what Sweden's like, Germany, Scandinavia, it's northwestern Europe. It's like, so here's where England and that shit is right there, and then we have the little thing there. It's like got to be like right fucking here. And if you go up further, Greenland is the fuck up here, right? Something like that. So it's like right here. Sweden, all that shit, isn't it? Oh well. I don't even give a fuck. I know about this. Well, at least I know now what Starseed is and what all this process is, because at one time I just thought Starseed, like I was explaining in the beginning of this, I thought that Starseed had to do with alien races. And it could, because of genetic lines due to civilizations in time throughout the ages. But, I mean, even your, like, I would be a fire sign. So maybe this means that in some way I'm in relation to the beings of fire. If you're a water sign, maybe the beings of water. I don't know. It could be because my strongest elemental sign is fire. So maybe that would make me a firebender. Is that how it works in Avatar? I don't know. But depending on your sign, the element that's connected to it might be your main element. Don't know. It's a guess. I have a lot of fire in my birth chart, so it could have something to do with it. And I wonder if I did have this mate this, this, hello? Can you hear me? I've been asking if you guys can hear me. It just disconnected for no reason. Hello? Yeah, I don't know. I just randomly get cut off. But yeah, I didn't do anything to it. I didn't touch it. So it does this on my live streams. Quite often I lose all my viewers. But that's okay. Let's just finish it off then. Listening to your body. Oh, because, yeah, this process is going to be happening for everybody, whether you know it or not. And it depends on whether it accelerates or not, like, depending on your focus on it, right? The more you feed your seed, the faster it will grow and germinate within you to become fully mature. Of course, it's going to keep going through this process. But it's almost like at the top of your head, envision inside, not actually, but just like symbolically. I'm seeing a pool. Like if your head is like an invisible, there's a pool at the top here. And at the crown, it's dropping ether. Bloop, bloop, almost like the manna of heaven, I'm hearing. And once this is full, because you remember how it says you need to empty your cup in order to fill it back up? Well, this is now your super consciousness, a plasmic aether like a thing. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but that's basically how I'm seeing it. Like it goes up and it feeds the crown. Bing, bing. But think of it in reverse, like it's dripping into a pool. And that's kind of the goal of it. You reach a level 100 with it. You know, the max. And I don't know what it actually takes to do this, because even William Donahue said that there really isn't anyone who's abstained from sex completely. And I don't know if that's the key. So I think, like I was saying, I didn't like follow what other people were doing. I tried to do what was best for me, what felt right for me, even though people will judge you on the outside and doubt you and, place these expectations upon you. But it's not about them. It's about you. It's about how you feel about you. It's about your connection with the divine creator, working together, fulfilling a wish together, because it's not like the divine creator doesn't hear the prayers and wishes and hopes of all humanity. And I think that maybe it almost works like a voting system or something, energetically, symbolically. That's how it kind of, people's thoughts, actions, and feelings, it could be playing out on a giant scale like that. Because all beings are the children of the divine creator, not just us. All things, really. So, and that's why I was talking about with solar beings. There are 4 like pillars of creation under earth, air, fire, and water. Higher dimensionals, lower dimensionals, humans, and subhuman creatures. That would be like Bigfoot. But all those are under earth, air, fire, and water, including us. I think because we're made out of the clay, we would be earth. A lot of beings of the unseen realm, they are a combination of elements, because it wouldn't just be the fire, even though they say like Jinn are a smokeless energy, right? This would be an energy being, but they may be under different elements. They may be under like different, like I was saying, the spiritual essence of one of the elements. It's not always the same. So yeah, like you were combining earth, air, fire, and water, and you are the aether. You are the instrument. This is why this is called your temple of God, because you're trying to prepare it for God to enter you. But again, you're a little sun. You're not the big sun. You're a creation of the Creator, a reflection of itself, essentially. So that's what you have to realize. There's a lot of limiting things. Like it even says in the Bible, there's going to be people that come back that claim to be like Jesus. Yeah. And again, that's to deter people away from learning about this. Yeah, it really is. It's got unbelievable obstacles in its way. And I mean, it took me all these years. I think I've learned about the Claustrum Oil a year ago now. Because I found one of my comments on Kelly's videos about a year ago. So, yeah. And so it was from, let's just say 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's like 10, 11, 12, 13. I think, what was that? Fuck, I lost count. I seriously lost count, but that's quite a long time to even just have one definition of what I thought the starseed was. And that's why I kind of just never really resonated with it. I didn't want nothing to do with that because it didn't feel right for me. But now this does. This makes sense, you know, because a sun is a star. That's basically what they are, you know. So star seed, sun seed, what's the difference? Yeah. But yeah, it's been all this time. And I just learned last year. So it's just something that, I mean, I heard about the 3 days of darkness thing. Like they said, the sun was going to go out and we're not going to have any power and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of crazy stuff in these 3 days of darkness that I've heard about for all these years. But it wasn't that at all. And I mean, the biggest, you know, lie about things is the story of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Even Bethlehem is a place in the skull. It's wild. It is so incredibly cool, but also you realize the lengths that they went to hide it. Yep. So if my channel was, you know, getting less because it was being held back from the algorithm, you know, because of controversial information before, well, this definitely probably hasn't helped, but I don't care, because this is how you make it so, well, for me, that I would make it so that I'm not alone, is to help other people actually be able to achieve. It's not cheating. There is no cheat code to this. There's a lot of work involved. You know, you can't just pay somebody for one of these stupid courses, so don't fall for any of that. It is difficult, hard work, and it requires blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of purging, a lot of purification, self-sacrifice, a lot of studying. You know, I did a lot of studying so that these things made sense. It was almost like I found the Claustrum Oil at the right time, because everything else that I had learned kind of fell into place, you know? And once you know these things, you're less likely to fall for those bullshit traps. like this 3 days of darkness that David Wilcock fooled me with so many times. You run out and get emergency supplies, get water, get batteries and candles and all that nonsense. He did that many times. It was nice talking with you too. Thank you for joining me, Ad Walker. It's good to meet you. Good to see you. Yeah. I'm also getting a little bit tired now myself. So I've been up since it was like 5:51. I looked at the clock, so it was a little before 6 o'clock. So, but yeah, I don't know. I guess, and the more that you align with it, the more you excel, But I'm good with it. Like, I'm happy. I'm impressed, pleased with myself, I'm not upset that I'm not anywhere else because I'm good where I am. We need time to process these things. And like I even said, someone asked me about, well, what about our families? Well, the thing is you can't bring anybody with you. Yes, we're in this together to a degree, but it's even like, no, not everybody graduates grade 12 at the same time. You have to get there first. So it's kind of like this. Well, we can work all towards common goals together, right? Like, I think that it's really important they know what this is. And it may not click in at first. They may have to go around a few times, learn a couple of things, and then be like, oh, that reminds me of that Claustrum Oil thing that I heard about. And then they'll come back to it. It even says that in the Initiates of the Flame, that this was the Creator's gift to us. And they're purposely hiding it and withholding it because it's the one thing that can defeat them. You're no longer susceptible to lust and materialism. And, the hardest thing that I digressed about this, I forgot, is that, say, the solar beings came to pick me up even tonight, but they said I couldn't bring Marvin and Salem. Well, I'm not going. I know. I wouldn't abandon them. See? And this is just something that I have to live with, but I'm okay to stay here with them while they live their lives. You see what I'm saying? I love them. I want them to live happy, fulfilling lives. And if that means I have to stay here for a bit more time, so be it, It's rough. And it's, it kind of doesn't make sense why, especially if it was just, say, over the ice wall. I mean, gosh, their lives are very short, but it may be that their souls have to stay in this sphere until they graduate out of being human, like all the souls here. They're going through the levels of consciousness from mineral, plant, animal to human, and then from human to angel, a higher dimensional, right? That's your goal here. You can become even lower dimensional, but you're meant to be going higher if this is your cycle to do so. Some people, it is their dark cycle, so they're meant to go evil. You have to become both. In one cycle or the other, you will always go from dark to light and return to source, always. So you'll live different cycles. You won't always be good. You'll play a different role in different energies, even as masculine and feminine. Go through that all, But yeah, so your nitrogen and oxygen combine, and it's called nitric oxide. It becomes something new, like blue and the red. It becomes something new. And you can learn all this stuff for yourself. Like right now, I have to reserve my energy. I've done a lot today, and I randomly wanted to do this live, so to maybe try to explain it. I mean, I've tried to do the best I could. A lot of it is unbeknownst to me like it's unknown. Like it's just happening naturally on, you know, I can't explain it why. Maybe just because it's meant to be. Maybe because, you know, my thoughts and actions and feelings are in alignment. I don't know. And I think part of being a little bit ignorant in a way where it saves you from complicating it more. Like if you're unaware, then you won't mess it up. Just like how they don't tell me more stuff, because then I'll just be like, blah, 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 and fucking tell everybody. You know? Because clearly I can't really keep things to myself. I try. But, you know. But yeah, so that's something just I have to learn. It's difficult, but I'll get there. But we won't know what happens till you do, right? I think they're just, I don't know. For one reason or another, I don't know, but limiting beliefs will make things certainly difficult, because it seems impossible, but it's not. And I always thought it was impossible that I would ever see what I saw in my room in 2015, and then the craft in 2017, and then like connecting all like my lucid dreams with spirit body travel and this and that and this and that. So it really, there was a whole bunch of things that I thought were most likely impossible that weren't, you know? So why not everything else? It may not exist here, but it could exist somewhere else. But anyway, I'm real tired. So go do your thing and watch the Claustrum Oil playlist instead of, you know, yeah, I talked about The Witcher because sometimes I need a break from things. And when I like to eat a meal, most times, either I'll hang out and talk with you here or I like to watch something. And I decided to watch that. The other day, I watched that dude's video and then found the super power thing with the etheric sight, spiritual sight. Be either called, but it is technically etheric sight. Seeing within the aethers, and like it may have something to do with what dark matter is. Just because it looks like nothing doesn't mean it is. It's just because you can't see what it really is. That's a lot what shadow people have to do with. They're out of your range of light spectrum vision. We only have a certain light spectrum, but there's more outside of what we cannot see. So, and that just may be the unseen realm. So, I don't know. But yeah, no one could go with you. That's the thing. So, I'm really hoping they let me bring my kitty cats, but I don't know if I could, like, I wouldn't want to be flying around with them on an interdimensional ship. I would want to be somewhere where they could settle and be safe. And if that's not possible, then I wouldn't want them to go with me anyway, because that just puts them at a risk of most likely a terrible death. You know, like I would say there was some type of creatures out there that could beam onto our ship. I wouldn't want Salem or Marvin to get eaten right in front of me. You know what I mean? I'd kill that thing so hard that it ate my kitty cats. So, see? But you have to be mentally prepared for these things. That's why you just don't want anything like that. That is a huge distraction again. You know? Yeah, because it's a whole different ballgame when you get out there. This is why you would need someplace to settle. You just wouldn't be able to stay in a interdimensional ship. Like, this is why people argue about going to space. We'll never make it through the Van Allen belt or whatever. No, probably not, because they're not going that way. You understand? It's interdimensional. It's not. They're not flying in outer space like that. I think they make us believe they are. And the debate I have with me now about that is that if there's a spiritual, there has to be a physical side, right? Like, so I don't know. But I really have this thing about seeing and experiencing things with your own eyes. Like, I wouldn't have believed how cool a rocket launch was until I freaking saw it the other night with my own eyeballs outside. So, okay. So I've talked for 2 hours. I think I've done well. There's another video that I have. I'll just put it in the chat. It was a video that I did over a year ago about your God spark. And I had a dirty camera lens. It's so funny because I didn't realize that my camera lens was dirty. But it doesn't matter because you can still hear the audio. So, let me just see here. It's under my popular videos section. It's called Starseed, your God spark, your flame. Energy goes where thoughts flow. And it does. It has a lot to do with your thoughts, right? And your directed energies. Yeah. So this is basically what I've been doing my entire life. Like, it's not something that I just discovered. Put God spark Starseed. Is that right? God's okay. Yeah. Wait, control there. There. So that's that link there. That's to my video that I did last year, okay? And I will probably explain it in just as good. Maybe I cleared up some more things here because I learned more about the science of it. But you can still find the Claustrum Oil playlist because I added it to that video today. Or at least the website from Kelly. I think I had the, I don't remember. It doesn't matter, but it's there now. So please do educate yourself about these things. Even if you just watch that 1 hour and 47 minutes, like watching a movie. But it's so interesting. She's easy to listen to. She has a nice voice. She explains it well. It's very easy to comprehend. Especially if you know the Bible too. You'll find it so interesting. You really will. Because that's what they were trying to tell us. But it's like they're telling us without exactly telling us. Because it's almost like, I don't know, cheating on the test. Or maybe they did it intentionally. I really think they did it intentionally, to be honest with you. That's why, even with Orthodox Jews, they say that, Kabbalah is dangerous. And that's why it's only certain people that are meant to practice it. And it's like mystic Judaism. It's not actually Judaism. It's mystic Judaism. And they deal a lot of symbolism and allegory, so. But it probably comes in more angles than one. Oh, John, hello. It's good to see you. We're just wrapping up. But it was a good 2 hours. I'm just so tired. Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why I was just saying it's dangerous, especially in the wrong hands, because people use it for the wrong things all the time. To manipulate, trick, and control people. Scam them out of money. Like saying that the Starseed thing, like, so the 3 days of darkness, where people said that, power is going to go out, banks are going to go down, the sun's going to go dark for 3 days. People have heard this. But really what it is the seed with the Claustrum Oil. It goes down into the sacrum bone. It's right in between here, your hip bones. It's right there at the base of the skull. It goes down here and it sits there in almost like it's buried in the dirt. And then it rises back up. This is what it has to do with. It has nothing to do with the actual sun going out, chaos, and everybody flying around. All this nonsense. Got to go and buy packs of water and get your canned food. That's what they were doing to me for years. And it has nothing to do with that at all. So that's what the Kabbalah does. It's a play on words. And I don't think it's funny at all. I really don't. I think it's cruel. I think it messes with people and it takes away their gift. This was for everybody. And this is how we got this way. You know, there's so much about life that people don't know. And so it feels so purposeless and valueless. They're like, why am I even here? Why do I have to go to fucking work every day? You're not supposed to be going to work every day like this. They set it up this way. Money is not an energy exchange, okay? They created that shit. We used to run on the fulfilling energy exchange of each other. And I'm not talking about sexually. Intellectual things, knowledge was a form of currency, kindness, generosity. It's all kinds of messed up now. Yeah, it's good to see you too. You should just start over from the beginning and you can enjoy everything that we talked about thus far. There's a lot of really good links. There's some really important stuff in here. Yeah, hey, Tenko, I'm really sorry. I usually stay about 3 hours, honestly, but I've gotten real tired pretty quickly. But there's some really good links in here. I have the Godspark Starseed video that I did about a year ago. Thank you so much, John. And there's the Sacred Secretion video. This is probably, I'll put it in so you can just see it now. Because Kelly, she's a great teacher and it's who I learned from. This is her website now, but there's a video right on the page. And it's 1 hour and 47 minutes. It's like watching a movie. And it's one of the best informative videos. And it's free. Totally free information. And it's incredibly well done. You know, she's got slides. And it's wherever you can read everything. It's a fantastic presentation that she does. And like, that's who can explain the science of it. But I hope that I've at least shared as much as I possibly can. Like I talked about how I recognize, how, the sun was popping off like that, either whether a solar flare or, whatever it's doing, I could feel this. And then it was almost like a gathering, saving up almost of energy to receive, because it's the life giver. Anyway, I went all through this when I first felt it within my spine. Like, it was almost like I needed to stretch it out, like my spine, so that the energy could release and move through me. It was the most wild feeling. It woke me right up out of my sleep. Oh, I didn't know what was going to happen. It was so crazy. I could feel like a pressure at the bottom of my spine, like someone had their fingers there, but it was an energetic pressure. It was some wild. It woke me right up out of my sleep. And then, well, unfortunately, I didn't know what it was. So then when I got really horny, I took care of it. But wow, that's something else. But that's how I figured out over the years, that it's connected to your sacral energies and your sacral chakra. And this is why they always have everything, sex, everywhere. Everything, everywhere, even in TV now. You can't escape it anywhere you go because they're trying to drain your sexual creative energies. They don't want this stuff happening. They don't want you to have your eyes and ears open to catch on to their bullshit, so they can't fuck around with you anymore. Oh, I need a drink. My throat's getting sore and dry as hell. Oh, I think it's because the window's closed, eh? Yeah, that's why. The heat, I don't control my heat, and so it sucks, but that's just, the way it is. That's why my eyeballs were drying out. The heat's right here. It's just so hot. And I cannot do anything about it except just keep the windows open, get humidifiers, and get a fan. It's all right, though. I fixed it so that I can breathe and everything, but I forgot I closed that. But anyway, enough about my complaints. Okay, it's... Yeah, deja vu. Same old bullshit. Yeah. No, and that's what I mean. That's why you just have to stop and forget about them. That really is a distraction that holds you back anyway, because those people need to choose to change. They need to wake up and change themselves. It doesn't matter how many posts that I made on fucking Facebook or whatever about it. It didn't, it opened people's eyes to it. And you can only do that so much, right? Until it becomes insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. So you have to do something a little different to defeat them, right? Like I said. Yeah. I'm not saying don't tell people. It's just, some people, are pulling their hair out. I see certain comments and stuff, and it reminds me of me at certain stages of my journey. So, it's just not worth it to do that to yourself. If somebody is not willing to listen to you, then don't bother pushing it because it's a waste of your energy, At least you told them once, and that's all you can do. Because these people, like I said, they have to make their own choices. They're here learning in soul school too, and they're going to have to deal with the consequences of whatever karmic lessons they will have to deal with in the future. And you can only do so much for them. They have to choose. And, I think that it's come down to their own perspective about it. Even one of their main, witches there, Marina, whatever her name is, that spirit cooking lady, Brahma Brockovich or Brahma, whatever the fuck it is, I forget. But she did a social experiment a long time ago in another country where she just put a bunch of weapons and all kinds of stuff and just let people do whatever they wanted to her. And they ended up cutting her hair and ripping her clothes. And they ended up cutting her. Here, one guy had her put a gun to her own head. It really showed her the beast nature of humanity. And it's real bad, especially if you let it. Many times I saw, if I was let out into the world, where people would all know who I was and stuff like that, it would be like that lamb in the movie Noah. They'd tear me to pieces. It's almost like drowning people. You can only help people so much before they start to drown you too. And so just remember that even I had to learn this myself, and it's a part of letting go, that it helps and makes it easier, for me anyway, to feel like, I was born into this world alone and you'll go out alone. It's really, really important to be so self-sufficient that it's only you and the divine creator. And it doesn't matter if everybody else disappeared and you're just floating in blackness, you'll be okay because you're not alone and you're going to figure it out from there. You see what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to go now. But I really appreciate you being here with me tonight. I hope you enjoy the teachings of the person that I learned the most from. That, it's not like I haven't learned it off others, because there's other people in my playlist like Santos Bonanchi, William Donahue, and I can't remember who else. But Kelly Marie is very, very good. And I'm excited to watch the Christmas Alchemy series that she did. And I'll probably get one of her books for myself for this Christmas as well. And I will make an effort to read it, the whole thing. I've read a few, but just not all of them that I have that I probably should have read. I'm not going to lie and say that I have, because I haven't. But yeah, enjoy this, because it truly is the greatest gift you can give yourself this Christmas, is to learn about this stuff, Thanks, John. Yeah. I appreciate that a lot. My book's going to be for sale again when my one that I'm currently working on now. And that's more about my life story, and it will explain about, how, Sailor Moon was introduced and blah, 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 blah. Fill in some of the blanks, I guess, to help people, because there's little bits and pieces, I think, that they pick up of my story, but they don't see the bigger picture. And I know that you can't please everybody, but I have a really good feeling about it, that it'll help people understand that, sometimes they show you this in the movies, almost every single superhero has a shit life. Even, what was it, Shazam? I remember that one, because I think he also was adopted or something went on with that. But a lot of superheroes, usually their origin story, they have a pretty shitty go in life, have a lot of loss, a lot of pain, they're bullied, they're nerds, people didn't like them. Hey, Calmly, good to see you. But there's a reason why they show you this in movies. People just can't see it. They also don't understand the other symbolic things they put in the films too, like how much truth there is. Remember I told you about that movie, Defending Your Life is one of the best movies you can watch before you actually die, and they tell you that in it. Like, if there's one movie you watch before you die, let it be this one. Because they're trying to teach you about how, like, it works afterwards when you do your whole life review thing, and then, it's decided where you go after that and what you do after that, or if you come the fuck back here and you don't want to. Even he was like, no. Nobody wants to come back, seriously. So, oh, you missed a bit. It's been good. I've enjoyed it. That was literally my last sip of tea, and I want more, so it's been a nice evening with you. I do hope that you look at the playlist and the videos that I've suggested, and I truly wish you luck with all this. I wish you your freedom from this prison, and that you can do it. I believe in you. Even with the small steps, it doesn't matter where you're at in this, as long as you take that step, then you're going somewhere with it. It doesn't mean that you're starting at level 0. You've been already going through this process, whether you know it or not. It's almost like you just need to jump on board with it. The process is going anyway, but once you jump on board, it'll go faster. So don't be discouraged. It's not as difficult as it seems. You can understand. If you think, oh, I don't understand that. Yes, you can. You'll just watch it over and over and continue your learning. I have lots of different things you can learn from in those playlists. You can always ask me questions, and I can try and help you, because I will. I only snap out at people if you're rude as fuck, like that idiot from earlier. Oh, I forgot to put the live chat part on. If I've missed any of your comments, I apologize. So welcome, John Clark. Welcome, Tenko. My throat hurts. I've been talking for so long. Hi, Calmly. Okay. Oh. No, I mean, that's just the thing. You have to think positive, John. Like, if you do your best, even within a short amount of time, you can clear things and do things to make sure that, you have pretty good dharma. That's good karma, not just have to pay for things. And make it so that your life cycle is more pleasant next time. I don't know. Again, I'm not the divine creator, so I can't say, like, this is what it'll be for you. But that's what, they mean by reward in the end of your lifetime for being the best you can be, It just helps, like, the 10 Commandments will help. But there's other things too. Depends on what works for you. Because some people will be right turned off with religion. Even hearing me that, ugh. But, I don't think thou shalt not kill or steal are that bad. I can't remember them all. Don't lie, don't steal. Do unto others as you'd have them to do unto you, but I don't think that's a fucking commandment. But you should, Yeah, knowledge not used is regretful. So it's good for it to be shared, Yeah, it's okay if you don't understand the first time. I've had to listen to things over and over and over and over until I can, That's all good. Even if you don't understand it at all, your subconscious will, and it will remember little bits and pieces of things to put it all together. Well, is but that's all you want with your life? Because I honest to God, I've said I wanted to help save the world and be a superhero my entire life. I'm not going to lie. My whole motherfucking life. And I never gave it up. Never. Not for a second. I never doubted it. I didn't know how it was going to happen. But look, I already found the solar being. So, like, I am so close. You know? That's what I mean. Like, magic is just a science that we do not understand. And in order to experience magic, you truly do have to believe in it. It is so important to truly believe in it. Yeah. One time, I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to go. I was at a convention and these girls were dressed up as Final Fantasy characters. And I mentioned to them that I have always felt that even though we can't see it, maybe somewhere in this great big gigantic universe, there is a world or a sphere, okay? Because that's what it is. It's the spheres. If you ever hear all these different worlds of like the multiverse, so it would be a sphere. But somewhere out there, I told her, I was like, I always thought that these stories that were written, like it's like they come to be in creation somewhere else out there. And even though we'll never see them in these bodies or whatever, I just know it exists. And the girl started to tear up and she's like, oh, I've always thought that too. And I really do feel there may be something to that. Like everything that we create here, it may create a small universe bubble because everything was a thought, just like we were all thoughts. And this world was a thought, you know? This whole process was just a thought, an idea. What would happen if? Let's try this out. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So it all starts off as a thought. So I just, I think deep down we might all know these things, but we push them away. Or we say, no, that's impossible. That's impossible. But you got to stop doing that. Jet Li, the one. I saw that movie, but I can't remember what it's about. I keep thinking about Unleashed. Oh, is that where there are multiple copies of him? And then it becomes like that certain one that becomes the actual superhero. I don't remember, Scott. Sorry. Yeah, I can't remember. There's a list of people I would love to have coffee and chat with. People who thought, oh, thanks, John. You've said that to me before, I'm pretty sure. I just got deja vu. Yeah, I know. We'd have tea together. Maybe one day, if we can achieve, because you could biolocate. If you get spirit and matter together in this union thing with the Claustrum Oil and this whole body, mind, and soul process shit thing, then you can teleport. So if I figure this out, then I could teleport over for tea. You wouldn't even need to pay car insurance or even have a car. You could teleport. Hey, you're going to save so much money. No more Geico, where you can save money on your car insurance. You won't even need it. You won't even need it. So I think that's the greatest reward right there. And not only teleportation, but never having to come back here again and do any kind of bullshit like this again. You know, and if you want to be hanging out with these people that are of higher consciousness that you would consider extraterrestrials or aliens, then this is a huge part of it. I mean, you can't just be walking around thinking all these shitty, nasty thoughts telepathically, throwing it out at everybody. You're going to get punched in the face so many fucking times. You can't be thinking and looking at somebody's wife and lusting after her. Everybody around you is going to hear that or feel it. It's going to be so awkward. So you have to be able to be a proper person to be out there. It's going to be awful for you if not. You know? You'll be embarrassed all the time. You'll be having the uncomfortable situations. You know? Like if a couple's walking by and I'm thinking about this girl's husband, like, wow, look at him, look at them thighs, you know, or whatever, she's going to know and be like, excuse me, bitch? Like, what are you doing? You know, it's probably very rude to them, especially to lust after their partner, you see? So you've got to be able to control these types of things. Yeah. Or not have feelings of jealousy or envy or wishing to be somebody else. You're totally and completely good with being you, you know? So that it's not going to energetically mess with anybody else either. Because in the spiritual realm, there are no secrets. There's no locked doors. You just walk through everything. So there's no privacy like we have here. Okay? You got to remember that. Every time you're touching yourself, there could be a fucking spirit watching you. Like, ah, look at him go. Are you having a good time, dear? That'll always help you stop doing it. Imagine there's somebody creepily there watching you that you cannot see. You know? It helped me for a little bit. You know, oh, just go to sleep. A little paranoia is good sometimes. Helps you stop bad habits. Anyway, I can't remember how I started talking about that. I'm so tired. I'm just rambling. I have no idea, Scott. I don't even know what that universe is. I don't know. But I don't think that, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I love myself for who I am. I don't consider myself a failure in any way just because my life appears this way from the outside looking in. You know? Like, I don't even give a shit if Claudio were to see me just as this way and think, ugh, well then to you. Because honestly, if you can't accept somebody the way that they are, then you don't deserve them at their very best. You know? Like, yeah. So you just don't know. It's a really important to be independent and secure with yourself going into all of this. Because there's going to be a lot of different types of peoples that you're going to meet out there. You know? But I think the most important thing about politeness is what you present with your energy. Like your energetic etheric essence of who you are is going to speak for you before you even speak or do anything. And that's what I was talking about with spiritual rank. So, yeah, that's the richness of your soul. It's your resume, it's your business card, it's your identification. So, put on a good show. Oh my God, Scott. No, just don't do it. You know, trying to help people from excessively masturbating. It's a problem today. But yeah, there's some people that will talk about sacred secretion being, like, I've even heard some people think it's all about their semen retention. But it has to do with so much more than that. It's not just about that. It's so much more than that. So yeah, I recommended you the best teacher that I can think of. She's good. Like I said, sometimes Santo's a little bit too complicated, and others, William Donahue in the playlist does really good too. He has a really good lecture about it. It's funny, it's entertaining, but Kelly's the best teacher for me. So I'm going to recommend that to you because that's where I learned it from the best and where it made the most sense to me, especially with all the Bible stuff. Because I was never super religious, but I did recognize a lot from the Bible, and it was just mind blowing. Really, really cool. So, yeah, over the last year, I've excelled in like 2 years. I excelled pretty quickly, in a lots of areas, and I can say that I'm happy about that. I'm grateful. I'm glad that I'm not where I was 2 years ago. That's for sure. You know, it's not like it was such a terrible place, but like I remember that's when I found Noskin Fundin and Claudio Nocelli's work. And it was almost like I started to unravel my confusion at that time. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. She does really well. So, I'm going to finish watching the rest of it. I have her video up right now. I'm on that website I gave you. I'm at 40 minutes and 40 seconds. 40. That's funny. The spleen and the Jesus seed. Let's see if I can go back a little bit about that. Because, yeah, the spleen creates cells. Everything in your body has a process with this. Gilgal, like Gilgamesh. Elijah was taken up in a chariot. Gilgal is the place where Elijah was taken up in a chariot of fire. And that probably has to do with the rising of the spine. It looks like you guys are going to see all this. It's so cool. You really do. So I'm going to finish this because I'm even at the part it says the Jesus seed at 40 minutes and 40 seconds, but watch the whole thing because it just continuously keeps getting cooler as you go. Yeah. It's a cool journey, man. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna stop staring at it. Close this here. But yeah. Okay, everybody. I don't know where the cats are. They're probably sleeping in the bedroom. But I'm gonna go to bed soon anyway, so thanks for being here. Good luck with your further learning and all that. And, take it easy on yourself. I think that, going with the flow is what's best. Like, if you feel tired during the day and don't feel like you're lazy taking a nap, take a little nap. It's good for you. Okay? All right, take care of yourself and each other. Just like, the fuck? Oh, he was on after school. Hey, Nyla, you're a little late. Who was it? Who's the guy after school with the glasses? The old guy, and everybody would fight on the stage. Jerry Springer. He would say, take care of each other. Wait, take care of yourself and each other at the end of the show. I couldn't friggin' remember. But you're going to have to start again. Nyla Way. Yeah, I know you did. Well, it's 2.5 hours. I started saying that I was going to go at 2 because I'm tired. I'm very tired. I've been on the go since 6 a.m. It was like fucking 10 to 6. So I'll probably be in bed by like 8:30. I'm going to like clean up and I don't know. Aw, that's okay. Oh, that's awesome. You can either send it to my email at lastminute.lacey@mail.com. It's under the email on my channel, okay? If you don't have Telegram anymore, you can just email it to me. And I can get it that way. Okay? Yeah, you can just watch it from the beginning. It's interesting. And then, like I said, there is an excellent video that there's a couple of them, okay? But the one that I will do it again. The one that I'm recommending, I'm watching it right now. That's what I was just talking about. It's like the length of a movie. It's an hour and 47 minutes, but I know it looks like a website. It is, but it's got the video. It doesn't have a bunch of ads or anything, but you can also see her books, but they are also on Amazon, okay? But that's Kelly Marie Kerr, and I learned off her. I think I'm saying her last name right. I think so. That's why I kind of was like, Kerr? I think so. And she commented on my Claustrum's Oil video, if you didn't notice. So the one that is the 59, somebody graciously and kindly went and told her that I guess I don't know, either that they found her through me and that I had made this video using some of her teaching. So, and she was cool with it. So I tried to only use like 20 minutes of that one to try and get people to understand just how interesting and incredibly it's just so what is this? What is so many things involved? I'm seeing a bunch of strings together, so many things connected to it. So yeah, thank you for watching my stream. I did my best with it. I did it on a whim, and so but I made a video a year ago that I kind of forgot about, where I talked about the God Spark and all of that. Yeah, even before I really even knew about any of this. I think I might have just learned about it, or because I don't even know it as I should to be a teacher myself about it. But yeah, she is. Yeah, she came here and wished me well and supported me and everything. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Kelly's a nice lady, even though, like, I kind of, well, she said it's water under the bridge, so I should probably just stop talking about it. But, like, I question a lot of people about making money online with spiritual stuff, and it's just, it's okay. Okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up, because we need to just leave people alone about certain things as far as I feel about it now. Because, I mean, what can I do? It's not my choice to do, and I just need to, if I don't want to make that choice, fine. And it's not like I look down at her at it or anything. I explained this before in other videos. So I think I've said this before too. Like, it's not just her. There was other people too, where I'm like, well, if you've been doing yoga this long and you've been doing this and you know that, how come it hasn't become something more? And it is. It is supposed to be something more. Like, I don't know. I should have asked her when I had the chance, like, do you know that the solar beings are actually this and that's what the fucking aliens are? Maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she hasn't gotten that far. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I would assume she does, because solar beings, I guess, but maybe she doesn't know that's what the aliens are. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But that's what the aliens are. So if you want to meet the aliens, you got to do the Claustrum. It'll bring you to the North Pole, where they're supposedly at. Because seriously, there's like, the saints are supposed to be at the North Pole. And you'll find that out with like the millennial reign stuff. But I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, because again, it may have to do with the Claustrum Oil. Because in that millennial reign stuff with conspiracy eras, he doesn't talk about the Claustrum Oil stuff. He thinks Jesus was a real person. So he doesn't know that the Jesus story is symbolism and allegory for the Claustrum Oil. So that kind of, it might have been the solar beings in their golden age millennial reign. But anyway, so I don't know. I don't know if she knows that's what the aliens are. The majority of them. Technically, it's interdimensional. Okay. Yes. So the living waters that they talk about in the Bible is like the etherization of the blood. Your blood becomes something new, something alive. The aether is alive. Etherization is the aether. So it's basically what helps you become spirit and matter in one. But yeah, it's called Claustrum's oil, like Santa Claus, like this. Claustrum, Claus, whoops, this, like Santa Claus, as in Saint Claustrum. Get it? Yeah. I didn't mean to put it in caps. I didn't realize there. I turned it off. So it's also called Sacred Secretion, like with that website. Yeah. It's seriously one of the most interesting things that I've ever gotten into, and probably the biggest kept secrets and the most important thing. It really is the most important. They've hit it the most. None of those alien people ever taught me about this. And I think there's a reason why. Either they don't know or they're withholding it on purpose, because knowledge is power. But I believe power is meant to be shared. The Philosopher's Stone is you. That's what your inner alchemy, and that's what this process, it's a whole chemical process. Look, like it even goes down to the nitrogen and oxygen of your body, and it becomes nitric oxide. It's literally the red and the blue becoming the purple at a molecular level. It's the red and the blue, the left and the right of the left and the right of the brain. It's the heart and the mind, the sun and the moon, your solar and lunar. Like, this is all about the month of December, and the Christmas season is all a lunar and solar month. It's the combination of the sun and the moon with your primordial fire and water. And the fire is nitrogen, I believe, and the water is oxygen or something like that. Because it's the red and the blue, and then again, spirit and matter into one. All of these things unified. Your sun and your moon is your masculine and your feminine energies. You have to combine those two, Right. But it's not about being a hermaphrodite. Hermes of the mind, Aphrodite of the heart, combined. It is your masculine and feminine energies. It is your Deva and your Asura as one. You do not destroy your Asura. As in, if you're on the other side, you don't destroy your angel. You have to have them in balance as one. So again, it's about a heart and mind connection. A lot of this has to do with even just imagining things by putting it out into the aethers and allowing it to come back to you. So, but believing in the impossible is very, very important. An equilibrium, a unity, yes. Two different things combining and becoming something totally new. Yeah. But yeah. So go and watch that. Because if it helps to learn about the process first, and then when you come back and listen to me, the things that I say about it might make more sense. The thing with the spine, and I don't know, you guys, I went through all kinds of stuff. I had weird vertigo shit going on. I had, times where I thought that I was really sick when I wasn't, or when I couldn't figure out why I wasn't able to eat. My body was force fasting, or, just different things like that I felt like I didn't know why it was happening, or that it was kind of out of my control, So there's that stuff too, but it may be different for everybody because not all of our bodies are the same. I know that I was really heavy. I was 215 pounds. And then, I think a lot of that had to do with depression and just not eating, but I still changed. Okay, first one to send you. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my YouTube, Derek. I have a lot of subscribers, and I've heard people tell me things like where they're not being notified, or YouTube just stopped letting them know. All kinds of stuff. I don't know. I've had a bunch of issues. Like I thought maybe one of my videos disappeared, but I can't figure out if that happened. I thought I had 200. Remember I had said this before. I think I was on my last live, but just strange things that it may be me just forgetting, but then there's, but yeah, I don't know. So like I said, it might be because of the Claustrum Oil thing. My channel was deemed like controversial or harmful content or something like that. So the algorithm might not be pushing it out, but I've been trying to put out more and more and more content lately to try to change it. And so it might be working. Yeah, it's super late. Just watch it tomorrow. I'm going to go anyway. I've almost done 3 hours by accident. I've tried to go for an entire hour. Okay, for real this time. I appreciate you all. I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that, you have a good time watching Kelly's work and stuff like that too, okay? All right. You're welcome, and it was so good to see you. I'll try to plan another live stream to give more people time to be notified about it and so that they can plan to be here and actually sit with me for a little bit. But I'm not sure at this moment when it will be, okay? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's okay. Now, if you are listening and you've heard that I have this email and you're like, oh, she has an email? This is like a professional business email. If you are going to contact me about something, please don't write me a whole 10-page letter because I don't have the energy to address everyone like that. You know what I mean? So I would appreciate it to be contacted on Telegram in the group chat, not privately. If you're going to say something to me, it'll be better be something that you can say in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because no, that's okay. This is my business email. But like I said, it's not like I talk about that all the time, and I'm not sure if people know that I have that. It's just that it might overwhelm me, and I may not be able to get to you. So, you know what I mean? But I'm talking to you right now, like Derek, like if you send me an email, I will see it, and I will know that that is you. You know what I mean? With your video, and I appreciate that, Derek was made me an intro before. Yeah. You're welcome. I did answer your questions, and I replied to you a couple of times. And I think I gave you this because I knew that you specifically would enjoy that with your questions and things. Don't worry about it so much about getting it right. That may even hold you back a little bit. Take it easy, and know that if it usually, like it was for me, it would just go the way it was meant to, regardless of whether I was doing this or that. It was still going. So, yeah, don't worry too much about doing it right. Just do your best, right? Okay, everybody. There's going to be snow on Sunday. It says right there, 2 centimeters of snow. Oh, Canada. Okay, I'll give you a heart and a good night. And I will try to be back and hang out with you again soon before my break. Christmas time, you know what I'm saying? Because this is the reason why I need to do this for myself. Okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Yeah, hit the like button and all of that. I greatly appreciate your support and your kindness. Good night. Bye-bye.